Boa tarde, todo mundo. É ótimo estar aqui em São Paulo. It is great to be here in São Paulo. I congratulate the brilliant Brazilians for this organisation that has brought 87 Greens parties and groups together here in São Paulo, and all the organisers around the world who have brought us together through their work, their sleepless nights, and their dedication to our planet. And I want to thank the people of São Paulo for the weather. It is just like Tasmania. Raining yesterday, sunny today, and no doubt snowing tomorrow. And congratulations to our English and Scottish Green friends who won seats in the municipal elections last night from London through Norwich and so many other municipalities in that country. When we look to the way forward for the global Greens, we must keep our feet on the ground, but let our imaginations fly. The 21st century must see us win global democracy. I do not mean George Bush's idea of spreading democracy by armed invasion. We Greens, with our global charter, are committed to one person, one vote, one value, and seeing the spread of democracy through peaceful building of global equality. The United Nations seems not to be, but may be, a halfway house. But the ideal would be a global parliament for which every adult on the planet had an equal vote. Now, for every ultra-nationalist or multinational corporation, this is something to oppose. But for us Greens, it is something to work for and to look forward to. Obrigado. Don't hold our breath. After the Canberra conference, we Greens in the Australian Senate moved to support the idea of a global democracy and parliament to deal with just international issues and keeping of the peace. Every other party, including the Democracy Party, voted against it. Bob said one as they crossed the floor to oppose global democracy. Don't you know how many people, how many voters there are in China? So the concept of one person, one vote, when put to the test in one of the oldest democracies on earth, was rejected. We have a long way to go. But in an age where $1 trillion is spent each year on armaments, just 6% of that would feed and give clean water and an education to every child on the planet. And where we have handbag-sized nuclear weapons available and the spread of nuclear technology and huge problems coming from the gap between the haves and the have-nots on this planet, the destruction of nature, and global heating, which, as we have heard before on this stage, threatens us not sometime in the future, but right now with catastrophic results for humanity, as well as all the rest of the life on this planet. We must find new ways, successful ways, of the 6, 7, 10 billion people on the planet working together. If there is a better way than democracy, as I think Winston Churchill said, he didn't know about it. While democracy has its faults, it's better than whatever comes second for us on this planet. And let me talk for just a moment, after that wonderful introduction from the Indigenous people. This is what we are here to give security to and for people to enjoy for centuries or thousands of years to come, as they have in the past. This one little planet, this one green speck, which so far as we know is the only one in the universe which harbours life such as ours. And that means respect for the millions of other species on this planet who give us not only sustenance, but joy, spiritual upliftment, and in their wild places, as the Indigenous people still let those of us separated for too long know a connection with where we have all come from. This planet which shaped us, our bodies, our minds, and without which we are left with little other than shopping to entertain us. We Greens are committed to ensuring that this planet is the better for us being here. And that old wisdom which says, think 7 generations ahead and 7 back, we differ from the established materialist parties in a philosophy which says, in everything we do, we ask this question: will people 50 or 100 years from now thank us for doing this? If we cannot say yes to that question, or we do not have the answer, we should not proceed. Because if we can look our grandchildren again through imagination in the eye and see them smiling back at us because we thought of them, we smile ourselves. Greens is the politics of smiles. It is the politics of optimism. It is the politics of future happiness and security on this planet, and therefore our own ability to live happily with ourselves in 2008. Now, where do we go next? We have a wonderful charter. We have a Global Greens coordination. We have an assessment and an ability to add up our political parties and see what they are doing. But as Ralph Nader said, information is the currency of democracy. How can we empower ourselves better in one more step by ensuring that Greens everywhere around the world are getting all the information we have to share? And so the proposal is before this conference for a Greens secretariat or information centre so that we can share information 365 days a year instead of ad hoc when we can and at a conference each 5 years. Beautiful as it is and essential as it is that we get physically together and be able to talk with each other, exchange views and give each other the hug of encouragement. The proposal for this Greens Secretariat is that it be able to take in information from Greens parties around the world and send that back out to other Greens parties, candidates, groups who want information to empower. For example, in Finland, the Finnish Greens got legislation for recycling oil, so it wasn't dumped in the environment nearly 20 years ago. Now, if the Mongolian Greens think we need legislation to have oil recycling in Mongolia, this information centre can say, yes, the Finns have done that. We will translate that legislation from Finnish into Mongolian. And there you will have the ability to look at world's best practice in one issue like that. Besides that, it will let us know about global events. For example, the post-Kyoto global get-togethers to tackle climate change so that we can coordinate Greens on the ground at these events so the world knows that we are there and way ahead in our solutions to the human manufactured tragedy of climate change. We would be able to help with translation for the majority of Greens around the world who do not have English as their first language, an essential component of empowering Greens in whichever country or place, municipality they may be. There is so many more ideas here. The proposal is for the Global Greens Coordination, the wonderful people who got us together with the Brazilians here in São Paulo to look at, if we pass the motion tomorrow for a secretariat, and we in Australia have offered to be a host for this secretariat, to look at how that secretariat would work, how it will be funded, what it will do, and how we will keep good governance for it over the coming months. And then in the following months, for it to go to the coordinators in each of the regions of the globe, and hopefully we will get it underway within the next 12 months. So another big step forward, if this works, a Global Greens Secretariat. We are in effect, though there is no global parliament, we are in effect already functioning as the world's first global political movement and party. And so we need to be. But not the world's first global political governance. Of course, there is the United Nations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and then there's Samsung and McDonald's and Rio Tinto and Exxon. And we must not kid ourselves about the huge opposition that will come from vested interests as we become more powerful. So this is one more small step. It's brilliant being here. It makes the heart sing to be with such like-minded people from every continent, island and region on this beautiful planet of ours. Again, we maybe move too slowly, but we are building something that has never been tried before on this planet, and which is essential to the good governance and the rescue of the planet from the destruction of this age of materialism. We are optimists. We believe we can do it, but we need to be together to do it. And this Secretariat is one big step, not the full path by any means, but one big step towards us achieving it. I think if Ingrid were here, Ingrid Betancourt were here, she would approve. I think of her wherever she may be. And Ingrid, I hope you can see the flowers. You inspire me and so many of us who knew you, and now so many who have seen you every day of our lives. Ingrid said in Canberra, "Do not let us think of what we have not achieved, but of what we can do and what we must achieve. Let us not list our weaknesses, but rather claim our strengths. What links us as the Green Leaders generation is to give battle and to win it. What we want is not justification, but leadership to change the course of history. We're not entitled to be a marginal political option. Neither can we satisfy ourselves with being support forces for the construction of temporary political majorities. We should aim for power and obtain it." And I thank you, Ingrid, for those words which are more potent still 7 years hence here in Sao Paulo in 2008. Obrigado.